Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another tutorial on the channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a simple Fortnite banner tutorial for your YouTube channel. I'm going to be breaking down the full process of how to make this for yourself for free in Pixlr. So I do just want to mention again, as I do in every Pixlr tutorial, for the new people here who haven't seen any other Pixlr tutorials, Pixlr is a free software where you can make graphics without having to download Photoshop or pay for a subscription or anything. So if you're new to Pixlr, all you have to do is head to Pixlr. There will be a link in the description. You guys can start like making the same thing that I do and following along my steps into how to make this, and you guys can put your name in, and you guys can put your social media. You guys can basically make it however you want to, making some small adjustments to your own liking. But before we get too far into today's video, if you guys haven't already, dropped a like and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could do so. Every time you guys like and show support to these tutorials, if they do well, I end up doing more of them more often. A lot of the other content on the channel, like the keyboard content, I do kind of enjoy making more than just maybe these tutorials. But if you guys show enough support on these tutorials, I'll have to either do more of them or start a new channel, because I do know a lot of you guys do really like these tutorials. And again, it's not like I don't like making them, but they do take a ton of work to kind of gather everything together and also to kind of create more of like an original idea. So yeah, just support this video as much as you can by dropping a like, drop a comment down below, ask me a question or something. But yeah, we're going to be making a YouTube banner today. So this banner is going to be specifically made for your YouTube channel. I'm actually going to be using this banner. I think I'm going to be making in this tutorial for my second channel, IceKicks HD. I actually do a lot of Fortnite content over there, and I just started like uploading some like quality content. I will toss a link in the description if you guys do want to subscribe over there. I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys are like into Fortnite content, I definitely recommend going and checking it out. So like every other Pixlr tutorial that I've done on the channel, I will have all of the images that I use in, including the Fortnite renders, in a Google Drive, top link in the description, as well as all of that stuff. I'm going to be giving you guys the font that I use. I will give you guys the YouTube banner template right here, so you guys can follow along with me. As well as that, I'm also giving you guys the white version of the Twitch icon, Instagram icon, YouTube icon, and Twitter icon. And you guys might actually already have these if you did watch one of my previous tutorials. Also, I'm giving you guys an updated, revamped version of this topographic pattern that I actually made. It's not going to show up because it's transparent. So this is actually a little template of it that I made for you guys. I will toss this in the Google Drive as well if you guys want to download this. You guys can download it and use this as a reference. So sometimes what I like to do is I like to make a mock-up of my actual design, and then I'll like have it up on another thing, so like I know kind of like what colors I want to go with. I don't know, sometimes it just helps me to have one like right next to it. Link in the description in that Google Drive. I would download everything from that Google Drive and just drag it onto your desktop, and make sure you download the fonts as well. I'll leave a little card up if you guys want to figure out how to download fonts on Pixlr. It's super easy, but just make sure you guys get that out of the way first of all. And yeah, I think let's go ahead and jump into the actual main part of the tutorial. All right, so first thing, guys, make sure you just head to the Pixlr website, pixlr.com/e. First thing obviously we need to do is go to create new, and what you guys need to do is for width, go ahead and type in 2560, so actually 2560 for the width, and then for the height put 1440, so 1440 for the height. And we're gonna leave the background transparent, and you guys can name it Fortnite banner or whatever you guys want. We're gonna hit create, and then that's going to give us the template. Now, once you guys download everything from that Google Drive, you're going to hit layer, add image as layer, and you guys are going to find that template. It's this one right here. And as you guys can see here, it automatically fits in, so we don't need to do anything. We're going to hit this 3 dots right here, and we are going to immediately lock this background right here so we don't end up moving it or shifting it at all. It's very important. All right, so first things first, if we take a little look at the thumbnail for today's video, you're gonna see we've got some of the social media here. We got some of this. So first, what we're actually gonna start off with is doing the blue color in the back, and then we're gonna focus on getting these white borders, and then I'm going to toss in the renders. So let's first start off with that blue that we see. Now, if you guys want to, you can get layer, add image as layer, and then add that template in that I did before, and you guys can just kind of drag that out of the way because you don't really need it. All right, so now that you have your template up there so you can look at it, the first thing that I like to do is actually to go to this right here, and you guys can kind of have it on whatever you want. But what I'm actually gonna do here is, as you guys can see, there's a desktop, minimum, and mobile. So everything in this dark gray area is actually gonna be everything that shows up on mobile device. Now, I find this very important because it's somewhere around like 80 to 90% of users are on mobile devices watching YouTube. So it's very important that when someone goes on mobile and they go on their app, app, like their YouTube app, when they see your profile, they want to see like a nice clean banner that like fits in mobile, because a lot of people are on mobile and it's kind of like the first impression they're getting of your YouTube channel in general. So what I like to do is, obviously there's a little mark here so you can see where the mobile thing cuts off on the left side. There's no cutoff on the right side, so I'm just going to cut it off right here so I kind of know where it is. So to cover that up, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this marquee tool and we're going to go a little bit above, remember, just to kind of make sure. See how it's kind of just a little bit above, and then we're going to go a little bit below right here, as you can see. And we're just going to kind of drag the full length. And as you guys can see here, if I zoom in, it's a little bit like above it or whatever, and then just a little bit above as well. So we kind of know that we're not going to miss any of like the actual color. So now we need to go to the brush tool right here, and we're going to make sure it's clicked on this blue color. Now if you guys want the exact blue color that I used, you can click this color tool right here and just click on the template. It's as simple as that. If you want any of the other exact colors, you can, but just click on that blue and you'll get it right away, the exact color that I used. I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna go to brush, and you're gonna go to softness all the way down. Make sure opacity is at 100%. That is super key. And we're gonna drag the size up so it doesn't take me ages to do this. But we're just gonna hold down the button while we brush this in. And we are gonna, after we brush it in and it looks all good, we're gonna go to select and we're gonna go to deselect. And now as you guys can see, it's really important now that we have that marker there so we know where that mobile cutoff is. So now let's focus a little bit on the white. Now as you guys can see here, there's a little bit of white on the top and bottom. So all we're gonna do easily to put that there is we're gonna go to the marquee tool, and then we're gonna make sure we're still clicked on that background layer. We're gonna go down here and we're just gonna kind of judge and kind of get it to about as good as we want it here. Looks about accurate. Now we're gonna go to the brush again, and we're gonna switch to white, and we're just gonna brush that in white, and that's kind of how we get that bottom there. It's pretty easy. Select to deselect, and now we're gonna kind of do the same thing for the top area. So we're gonna grab that top and we're gonna drag it all the way across, and I'm gonna mark it right about here. And again, you guys can do this different depending on what kind of design you guys want. You can make them bigger or smaller, it really is up to you. I'll hold it down and draw that in. And I'm gonna go to select and deselect. Now let's actually go ahead and focus on the background so you guys can see like a topographic effect on the back. So now all you guys have to do is when you download that Google Drive, just go to layer, add image as layer. After you guys download everything from that Google Drive, there's gonna be a file in there. It's gonna be named white topographic PNG new. And if you add that as a layer, it's going to be the perfect size for you guys to go ahead and adjust it however you guys want to go ahead and just fit this thing. So you guys can make it bigger like this to fit the entire thing. Bada bing, bada boom, and just drag it up. And as you guys can see here, it perfectly kind of just fits. All you have to do is drag it a little bit bigger. I made it actually in Photoshop before just so that it would be a lot easier for you guys to add. So now all we have to do is make sure we're clicked on that topographic layer that we literally just added, and we're gonna go to the marquee tool. And if we go above it and I hold down and I drag and I make sure that it's in between the white right here, the bottom, and I kind of select all that extra on the top, we're gonna hit the delete button on our keyboard or the backspace, and it's gonna get rid of all of that extra stuff on the top that we just don't need. Realistically, you guys don't have to delete it because it is just on TV, but I like to just in case. So it's already looking pretty good. If you guys want to keep the topographic pattern how it is, you guys can, but in the thumbnail, I did drag the transparency down to like about 70. I thought it gave it kind of a clean look, but that's just personal preference. So now let's focus on the two Fortnite renders that you guys see in the thumbnail. I again will have both of them in the Google Drive in the top of the description for free if you guys want to go ahead and download those. But after you do, hit layer and go to add image as layer, and let me quick find both of the PNGs. So all we need to do here is make sure it's on fixed and drag down, and we're going to use that reference one, and we're going to put it, as you guys can see, it's off to a little bit to the left, so we're going to kind of get it a little bit on the left, and I like to have it sticking above this white top on the part as well. And that's looking about good there. That's looking perfect, actually. We're going to click on it. We're going to go to adjustment, add a little bit of contrast here to that PNG. It's looking beautiful. It's looking beautiful. So let's go to layer, add image as layer, and we'll add the second one right here. Leave us this one. And I had this one in the back. If I just drag it down a little bit, I had it chilling just about over here. That's already looking really clean, and it worked out pretty well too. If we zoom in, we can kind of get it to, all right, so as you guys see, if we zoom in pretty far, it's not quite, there we go. that looks better. So now I kind of blended this back layer render into like, I actually just made the transparency a little bit lower, as you guys can see here. You guys can do it if you want to, or you don't have to. I guess it's up to you, really. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and focus on one of the main things in here, and that's going to be the text. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do this cool effect where the like outline is over that, and I'm going to show you an easier way to do this than the last video. This way is so much easier, so let's go ahead and just jump into it. So we're going to go to the text tool, and again, the certain font that I use, like the exact font that I'm using in this video, will be in that Google Drive in the description with everything else. If you want to know how to add fonts to Pixlr, I have a video already, and I've literally explained it many times already on the channel, so I'm not going to cover it again, but I will toss a little card up, and there will be a link in the description for my full video showing you how to get fonts on Pixlr E. So go check that out if you guys are curious, or you can just use a basic font if you guys want to. But we're going to add text, and I'm already automatically on the font that I want to use. And I'm going to put Ice Kicks HD, because that's actually the name of my my second channel. And we are gonna go to the text tool immediately, and we're gonna go to size, and we are gonna drag that size up a bit till we feel like it's a good size. That's looking pretty clean there. It's actually looking pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Bada bing, bada boom. And I think I'm just gonna make it like 140 maybe. Also, sorry if my keyboard is super loud, guys. I got a new keyboard. It has blue switches, so they're super clicky, but I'll have a review on that soon. Sorry, I usually use a quieter keyboard when I do this because my microphone's right here. Anyway, you make sure you guys have your text where you want it. Then you're gonna go to this, you're gonna drag this actually first underneath the render. So as you guys can see here, it's now dragged underneath the render. By the way, this second render, it's actually this one right here. We don't need to mess with that one at all. So I'm just gonna drag it above the white topographic one, and I'm gonna lock that one because we don't need it. We're only gonna be messing with the top one right above it and the text behind. So these are these two. We can actually rename this to main render. Kind of know what we're working with here. Main render, and then we got a text here. So now we're going to click on these three dots, and we are going to hit duplicate layer, and we're going to drag that duplicated layer, that copy layer, right above the main render. So now, as you guys can see here, we have a text layer below and a text layer above the main render. Now we're going to go to the text layer above, and we're going to go to styles, outline, and we're going to go to punch out. That is the key. Make sure it's punch out, and then straight go to the color and change it to white or whatever color your text already is, and then drag the size all the way down to 1, and that is how I found to be the easiest way. And now I'll show you also the easiest way to get rid of these like lines you guys also see, because I found a way easier way to do that. So now that you have the text how you want it, like kind of moved wherever you guys feel like it looks good, you can actually click these. Make sure you have all three in a row. So you have text, render, text. You want to click on the top one, click on the three dots, and then click merge down, and it's going to combine those layers. It's going to combine it with the render. Now we want to click that and click merge down one more time. And now, as you guys can see, if I go to the move tool, this is all one thing. So now if I click undo, it will go right back to where it is, but it's all one image, as you guys can see here. It's really, really cool. So now if I actually make sure I'm clicked on that, and I click select, and I click select pixels, it's gonna select every single pixel in this like little layer that I have selected. Now what I can actually do is go to the brush tool, make sure it's clicked on white, and I'm gonna make the brush size really, really small. I'm gonna make it like, how does 8 look? 8's looking pretty good. And we're gonna zoom in, and now all we have to do here, I gotta click onto that add. It's gonna let me scroll. Now that all the pixels are selected, we can just brush this all in white. And I don't have I want it on a higher size, better. And we can just brush it all in. You don't even need any of it. This is so much easier than the way I showed you guys last time as well. Honestly, saves a lot of time. And as you guys go along, you can kind of adjust the brush size a little bit, make it a little bit smaller, kind of brush it in a little bit. You can leave some of the lines to add a little bit of a cool effect. That's kind of what I found to look the coolest. And we're gonna color a little bit of that in, bada bing. It just looks so much cleaner that way, guys. Like it really, really does. And I'll show you guys after what I mean about it just looking much better. And yeah, I think that looks a bit better here. And we go to select, deselect, and as you guys can see, it looks much, much, much better in my personal opinion. Already looking pretty clean. I really like the simple vibes, like the 2D vibes that this one has with the render. I think it looks super, super cool. Now, all that's left is to add maybe like YouTube socials and like your socials up here. I'll show you guys quick how to do that. So getting right into it, let's go to layer, add image as layer. And we're gonna find all those social media icons that you guys download. We're gonna find Twitch, we got Twitter, then we got Instagram. So now we got all of these beautiful things. And actually each of these icons, guys, are all the same exact size. So if you guys don't mess with the size of them at all, they're all going to be exactly the same size. So you don't have to size them at all. They're going to be perfectly the same, which is key, guys. It's so much easier not to have to make sure each one is the same size. So much easier to just leave them how they are. So we're just going to stack them how we have them here. We're going to Instagram on the bottom, Twitter on the top, kind of just outline it how we see fit. And we're going to have Twitch in between. And it's already looking pretty clean, to be honest. We're gonna go to text, add text, and I actually like to make this italic just because I think it looks good. And for Twitter, it's gonna be at Ice Kicks. Trust me, guys, I don't know how I got the original at for my name either. I really couldn't tell you. Go to the text tool, we can drag the size down a tad. Go there, drag it down a little bit more. I think I want it maybe at like 38. Also, just so you guys know, I am also going to be using this banner on my second channel. Again, I mentioned it before. There'll be a link in the description. You guys can click on that link and go to my second channel and see how it looks, because I'm going to be putting this banner up on the channel immediately after. So if you guys want to see like real time how it looks like on YouTube, make sure to go check that out. I think it looks good personally. Maybe go drop a comment on a video if you guys really want to. But once we got this is our at. We're gonna hit this 3 dots and we're gonna duplicate that text just so that we actually keep the same exact font size and everything, so we don't have to like size it or anything. We're gonna use the arrow key and drag it all the way down to make sure it's like horizontally sized correctly. And then I'm just gonna go to Twitch. I'm gonna put slash, oh god, gotta get rid of that. I'm gonna go slash Ice Kicks, and we're gonna go back to the move tool, and it's automatically sized. Trust me, guys, I don't know how I got the original app for my Twitch either. I really couldn't tell you. I got lucky. The only thing I don't have perfect socials for is my Instagram. I believe it's Ice Kicks. So double click on there, and I'm just gonna go to at it's Ice Kicks. Click out of there, and boom. This one we gotta resize a little bit. I'm just gonna use the arrow key, by the way. I'm sure you guys can hear it. Oh, and then now that we have those finished, I know you guys see the YouTube up here. Ooh, one catch before we do the YouTube. As you guys can see here, I already messed up a little bit. So you can see the desktop minimum and mobile is right here. It's kind of cutting off that second render, which is gonna bug me in the end, to be quite honest. So I'm gonna unlock that layer. I'm gonna move this over a little bit, just so it fits in. And when you guys go and look at that link, you guys will be able to know what I'm talking about if you look and you're on a phone. All right, so now that that is fixed, let's go ahead and focus on getting that YouTube and your name, and so we can finish it off. So we're just gonna go to layer, add image as layer, and then we're gonna find that YouTube PNG, YouTube white. There we go. We're just gonna drag it over there, all the way to the left, right about here. And now just go to text, click on that, add, and go to slash Ice Kicks. Actually, I want it to be italic, okay? I just do. It looks cooler. Slash Ice Kicks. And I think the final thing to do actually, guys, is just to add your own sponsors. So I'm gonna add these 3 sponsors that you see here real quick. I might do a little bit of a time lapse so you guys don't have to watch it. If you guys have your own sponsors, make sure to go ahead and find some PNGs of them if you guys have any. Maybe if you guys want a tutorial on how to make PNGs for your own sponsors, maybe let me know in the comment section down below. But I'll give you guys a little bit of a time lapse, like I said, of me doing this so you guys don't have to watch the whole process. Alright, so as you guys can see here, the final product is done with my sponsors and everything, and the text, and just everything looks good here. You can leave this up here, it honestly doesn't matter. I'm just going to delete it anyway. But to actually go ahead and save it as the highest quality you can, file, and hit save. Make sure you're on JPEG. Now I'm going to name it second channel banner, new, and I'm going to go to quality, 100%. I'm going to hit download, make sure it's on .jpg, show in folder, and I am going to drag it to my desktop. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and put this on for you guys and show you guys how to put it on and make sure everything is good. So I will catch you guys on my second channel when I'm actually going ahead and putting it on. All right, so we are on my YouTube channel right here. We're gonna go ahead and go to customize channel. We're gonna go to branding, and from here we're gonna go to banner image, and we're gonna go to change. So now we're gonna hit change. Second channel banner new, here it is. And then actually it should automatically do everything for you. I usually just leave it, to be quite honest. So if I just leave it here and I go to done. So now all we have to do is hit publish, and we should be good. Now make sure to go ahead and check it out over on my second channel, link again in the description if you guys want to see how it looks on the channel. Again, if you guys like this video or found this information helpful at all, please go ahead and make sure to drop a like at least on this video, and also just subscribe and drop a comment as well if you could. I will catch you guys in the next video on the channel. Thank you again for watching. Peace out, guys.